Hey guys, what's cracking? Looks like we got ourselves a Merry Christmas stream. I hope everyone's having a happy holiday so far. Yeah, boy is as well, and me and the family are going to be celebrating Christmas a little bit later this year because the fam's got night jobs, so I decided, hey, you know, for the afternoon here, I might as well try to finish up the custom card review for 2025 season. That's right, this is going to be the final custom card review for this 2025 post here, and afterwards, it's going to take a bit of a hiatus until 2026 when we kick it up again. Not only that, I do want to mention, as soon as Zet's intro ended, stream started base. Fair enough. Now I do want to mention one thing about the stream here is that, yeah, this is going to be the final one for 2025, but because 2026 is coming, that will also still be like a custom card stream unto itself when that other review pops up, because we had a lot of posts here, but we got through a lot of them. We got through most of them, in fact, I think. So I think I'm pretty satisfied with that because a lot of people posted after the time limit. So I think by the end of the day, we'll be having gone through everyone who actually got these in time, right? And that's really good to note. I'm gonna go ahead and give a moment here for other people to come on in and matriculate. How's everyone spending their Christmas? Unless it's already been spent here over on the eastern side of the world, in which case, how was it? How was it? How's it going? Either or. For me, it's kind of kicking off. I've got the Christmas shirt going. I got candy canes on a plate because I guess that's one way to eat candy canes. I got milk. Just milk. That's it. It's just milk. Building Celestials, Angel Feather, my most unknown clan's actually kind of fun, to be fair. Well, that's one way to spend a Christmas. That's nice. I know Christmas isn't as big for everyone, so I'm not going to get a bunch of holly jolly comments, but I am interested in who does celebrate Christmas. Angel Feather and Celestials is kind of a tough one to build, so I'm glad you're having fun with it, Milfy. Sup, Genesis? Welcome in. You too, Crazy Flame. Mary Chrysler. Nice dad mug. Yeah, it's trippy. The mug here's a little trippy because this is for my father, but he doesn't use it a lot, so I use it instead. I'd like to take this time to thank you for all the streams and content you've done. Thank you for your contribution to Great Revival. Thank you, man. That means a lot to me. I put a lot of effort into it, and I'm glad people are able to enjoy it. It's what keeps me going as far as V's concerned, and the streams have been really fun to do. It's been a highlight of this year for me as well, so you can definitely expect them to keep coming for years to come, I imagine. For your friendship? Oh, friends, is it? Yeah, I appreciate that too, man. Alright, let's see here. How many people have come on in so far? 8 concurrent viewers? Yeah, that's enough to kick things off, I think. Alright, let's go ahead and get into the meat and potatoes, eh, fellas? Alright, so we're going to start with Pekin Succotash. Hello, Josh, co-host of the day, which there's none here right now. Although I am in staff EC, so we might get some visitors popping in later on. And comment section of this video is up. Well, you got more than comment section now. That's how you know this was prior, because they don't know about the streams yet. Now, if you guys want, there's a fun mini game. You're interested in these customs. Figure out the story being told based on the cards, flavor, text, and effects, the way the costs are done. I'll delve deeper in the lore. Be posting the effects of the grade 4 card under this comment. Thanks for the opportunity to show these cards. For everyone who's watched the video through the section, what is the Arc Soul? Hence, one ship of Theseus, Merlin, memories. Interesting. Be revealed in these writing logs. Sorry for the stall. Enjoy the cards. He's definitely got a lot going on here. So based on that, yep. I would imagine that this is from our homie Arc Soul. Because he was telling me before he made some Pendulum Magicians and he posted them on the custom card review, so I think it all makes sense. As a matter of fact, that image actually looks very familiar. My other self. Damn. Alright. So be it. Wait, I think that's Arc. Yeah, I think it is Arc Soul, chat. Alright, let's go ahead and get this started one at a time here. So this is called Grade 0 Starter, which is Tuning Magician. So, thankfully, among the Yu-Gi-Oh decks that have ever released, Yu-Gi-Oh decks that have released from Arc 5, especially in prior, I know those decks, and also Vrains actually. So I should say Vrains and prior, but Arc 5 is like my strongest point because Arc 5 through Vrains was when I was most like competitive and actually into the game. So this definitely hits home because my rival in Yu-Gi-Oh played Pendulum Magician. So oh boy, all these cards here, right? Black Fang, Double Iris, Timebreaker. He called it the Fracture, but this is not what that's not what this one was called. Yeah, Purple Poison. Oh, God, Purple Poison. This was a menace to me. Anyway, so your starter is Tuning Magician. Now, grade 1 ride line is Astrograph Sorcerer. Whoa, he turned Astrograph Sorcerer into a grade 1. That's interesting, because Astrograph Sorcerer was the key level 7 card that you would need in order to summon Zark in the anime, and it also facilitated Zark in real life as well. But the main thing it also facilitated was really wicked combo loops with Electromite, because of how it would destroy your cards and like add copies of cards that was destroyed. That's interesting. So when it's placed by writing from a grade 0, reveal a grade 3 Magician from the right deck to put a Star Pendulum Graph into your order zone and draw a card. Wait, hold on a second. Star Pendulum Graph. So the Star Pendulum Graph was the continuous spell that let you search whenever you popped a card. Time Pendulum. Oh, I get it. Grade 2 ride line is Chronograph Sorcerer. He's going to search Time Pendulum Graph, isn't he? Whoa, there was a bit of a text thing here. When this unit is placed by writing from Astrograph Sorcerer, reveal the grade 3 Magician to put a Time Pendulum Graph and Energy Charge 1. Well, the Energy Charge 1 seems a little random, but alright, I'll play ball. So, Star Pendulum Graph and Time Pendulum Graph. Now, Time Pendulum Graph was the continuous trap card, and Time Pendulum Graph was a pretty powerful continuous trap card for the archetype. Even its protection effect was something that people really underrated at first, but it's pretty powerful. So, these two coming back together is pretty nice. So, we got the Zark Magicians, as they called them. So, this is Star Pendulum Graph, so it's a token set order, right? Now, continues to the order zone, you cannot write grade 3 or greater cards except for Pendulum Magician cards. Alright, and auto in the order zone, when a Magician unit is retired from the rear circle or the Guardian circle, it may search for a Magician unit with a different name from the once retired. That should be a once per turn, but if you do that, then that really mimics Star Pendulum Graph to a T. Auto in the order zone, during the end step of a turn in which a Magician unit is retired from rear circle or Guardian circle, may energy charge for each unit retired. Okay. So the wording here is a little bit weird. I think the way he's intending to make this is that he wants you to energy charge 1 each time Magician is retired during like the end phase. Now it says the end step, so Guardian Circle should not apply. So it should probably read as auto when your Magician unit is retired from rear circle during the end phase, energy charge 1. And that auto would just keep proccing each time that happens. So you don't need to do like for each unit retired, because the a non-once per turn auto is going to do that. Which is the same reason why the first auto here is kind of problematic. But still, he's more or less emulating the sort of like search and resource recursion of Star Pendulum Graph. So that's fair. This might have like a retire skill then, because that's how it happened last time. Let me see here. So Time Pendulum Graph. You cannot write grade 3 or greater cards except for Pendulum Magician cards. Now, Energy Blast 2, or what the heck is this? This wording's so weird. I don't think he worded this right at all. So he put an Energy Blast before the zone in which it's supposed to be in. It doesn't even say auto, or act, or anything like that. It's just Energy Blast 2. Weird. Okay, let me go ahead and view a couple of these Discord servers here on the side, because they're starting to get in the way here. And muted. Cool. Now that won't get in the way. Huh, interesting. So anyway, target a rear circle unit with Magician in their card name and retire it. If you do, retire one unit in your opponent's rear circle. So it's a non-targeting double removal, which, okay, I mean, ironically enough, Time Pendulum Graph actually did choose. So and what's weird is that he's using target. So he's actually doing Konami wording for Yu-Gi-Oh! So he's not using Vanguard wording at all. That's weird. That is weird. During the end phase, entering the end step, again with the Konami wording, of Magician is retired from rear circle or Guardian circle. If you're not countercharge 1, then countercharge 1. I guess? This is so weird. So, I understand what he's trying to do. So, your Star Pendulum Graph here is supposed to energy charge, and you're supposed to countercharge a Time Pendulum Graph. They're both charging, which I don't agree with Time Pendulum Graph giving you any sort of resource recursion, because it's supposed to be like a pop card. If anything, Time Pendulum Graph is supposed to not only get rid of one of your opponent's units, but also sort of like self-enable your Star Pendulum Graph, and also the effects of your magicians, because in their original iterations in Yu-Gi-Oh, what they did is they had various effects when they were popped. Well, except actually for White Wing Magician. White Wing Magician was just bad and didn't have that. Her main feature is that she was a tuner. But the main thing is that Purple Poison would pop when he was popped, Double Iris would search if he was popped, and then Black Fang had a recursion if he was popped. So that's how that happened. So this is a little weird. Anyway, let's go ahead and go to the four musketeers, which are all grade 2s, it looks like, so that's pretty epic, bro. All right, so act what's return when it's placed on the rear circle. That's not an act, that's an auto. Counterblast 1, you can retire this unit from rear circle to give your opponent's Vanguard minus 10,000 power until end of turn if you control a Magician Vanguard. That is not how you word that at all. So CB1 and self pop to minus your opponent's Vanguard by 10,000. Holy crap, that's really powerful. You basically procs Yurianthe because of this. That's insane. Then when it's retired, if you have a magician, choose a magician from drop and either put into soul during your opponent's turn or call to rear circle during your turn. Black Fang, so that means that Black Fang is infinitely recurable. Because so yeah, you just go Black Fang, CB1, pop itself to minus 10k, call it right back. Then CB1, pop itself, do another minus 10k, keep doing that to run out Counterblast, which is not going to be that, it's not going to be that easy to run out Counterblast. You've got things like Time Pendulum Graph from the end of the turn anyway. Wow, okay. Double Iris Magician. When it's placed on rear circle, Energy Blast 3 to retire this unit from rear circle to give your Magician Vanguard +1 critical to end of turn. I don't like that because it's stackable. So if you played 2 double irises, you can get like 3 criticals against like a grade 2 even. Why does it do that? Oof. Auto Soul Blast 1, there it is again. When it's retired from rear circle or guardian circle, if you've got a Magician Vanguard, you can look at the top 5 cards of the deck to choose a unit card whose grade less than or equal to your Vanguard and call to rear circle. Stand during your turn and rest during your opponent's turn. If you're not call, your opponent draws a card. They will never be drawing a card because you will simply call, even if you have to call a trigger. Because you will not give them that draw. What? What? Oh, what? That's... Well, I mean, this is really powerful. It's not quite as powerful as Black Fang, in my opinion. But then again, I mean, just use this with Black Fang, dude. That's insane. Moving on. Purple Poison. So, this should retire an opponent's rear guard if everything is working as they should, because the other two are kind of working as they should. One's tutoring out a card, the other one's reducing power. Auto on the rear circle. Oh my god, even though his brackets are weird, he actually did it. He actually has proper grammar that time for the most part. When this unit attacks a Vanguard or boosts, Soul Blast 1, if you have a Magician Vanguard, to choose one of your other rear guards and increase that unit's power by that unit's power to the end of that battle and then retire this unit. Oh, so instead of Purple Poison's effect, he just stole power because that's what... So Starving Venom Fusion Dragon would gain the power. So that it's functioning like Starving Venom because Dark Rebellion Exceeds Dragon also had an ability, but the thing about it is Dark Rebellion would also reduce the power of the opponent. Purple Poison doesn't do that. It's just increasing the power of himself, and then he retires himself. Auto Act. Auto Act. Brilliant. Once per turn. Oh, haven't seen those yet. Soul Blast. When this unit is retired from rear circle or guardian circle, target your Vanguard. He gets power plus 5,000 and end of the opponent's turn. God, so In addition to a nice, easy defensive like that, I want to note that this once per turn doesn't matter because when it's retired, it'll just refresh. What? And that's even ignoring the fact that the axe shouldn't be there. That's an auto effect, and the once per turn is pointless because of how these function. Ooh. White Wing, what does this one do? This one might be a little wonky because White Wing had hardly any effects. Actually just had a detrimental effect to bind itself if you tuned with it. Alright. So when this unit is placed on rear circle, if you have a Magician Vanguard, put a card from hand to soul. Look at the top 2 cards of your deck. Choose a card from among them, put in your hand, put the rest on top of the deck or into soul. And if you put a Magician to soul by this effect, give your Vanguard try +1. Well, you just keep doing that. When this unit's retired from rear circle or guardian circle, if you have a Magician, you can energy blast 3 to choose a card from your soul, put in your hand, and bind this unit. Oh, hey, this one at least binds itself. So, I mean, he remembered that part of that card, but like, this is ridiculously powerful. Would the card need can only be, yeah, it would need hard once per turns. All 4 of these would need hard once per turns in order to make it work. I totally advocate for hard once per turns in a deck strategy like this because it feels like it's building around that. Like, totally. Like, completely predicating on that. Alright, muted that? Okay. Huh. So, this is a loopable way to build soul and then also keep giving your Vanguard drives. So you can get a bunch of drives, a bunch of crits. Your opponent is gonna always be in negative power thresholds, and you'll be gaining power based on like whatever rear guard you got. Wow. So let's see what's up with Celestial Magician, huh? So Celestial Magician appears to be the Vanguard here. Continuous on the Vanguard circle. All of your rear guards with Magician get boost and can intercept from the back row. Okay. Are we doing something crazy for our last card fighting with subs? I wouldn't think so. I think we just do more of the usual personally, but if someone's got some suggestions, they can let me know and I can see if I want to do that. Because shoot, why not? I'm open to suggestions. Anyway, act on the Vanguard circle once per turn. Costs counterblast 1, discard a card from your hand. Oh my god, this actually, wow, that actually has proper grammar. That actually works. That actually functions as intended. This is insane. This happening while I'm with family. That's all. Damn, Arxel, welcome in. Watch out, watch out, Arxel. Unfortunately, I like the theming of these cards, but holy crap, the grammar and functionality is atrocious, so it's a bit of a mixed bag right now. Hiya, couldn't sleep, so still awake to tune in for the stream. Hey, what's up, Ayako? Welcome on in. Alright, so until the end of your opponent's next turn, all of your cards with Magician their card names get power and shield plus 5,000, and you may play Pendelograph orders during your opponent's turn. Whoever beats Godsman can pair with them in the next turn. Jeez, man. I mean, technically a lot of people can beat me, right? So that would be kind of a big line. 4 Fractured Existence, unite as one, carve the Arc of Victory, and the Soul of the Forgotten Dream, which is beautiful, beautiful wording on that one. Okay. I'm happy to clarify stuff while I'm here. So, Arxel, there's one thing I'm really curious about. Why is there an auto act? Hope we get good news after Christmas season. Same here. I'm hoping for really good news, man. I mean, the future customs are definitely going to be impacted by whatever happens after the holiday season is over, dude. And in case you guys are wondering what's going on, I'll just keep it very brief here and state that customs are getting like the custom card maker that Ayako made recently got a C&D from Bushy, but we've been trying to clarify with them about that, and we don't really know what's been going on. We don't know what's going on with that at all. So Auto, wait, Mofi, face that, allow play supply the clarifying all the questions here. Okay, gotcha. Anyway, yeah, so we don't know what's going on at all with, like, Bushy here, because the reasons why they're, like, even attacking it is sort of being called into question, and we're trying to clarify what exactly is their problem. They haven't responded yet at all, and it's been a good while, so we're gonna see what they say, and depending on what they say, the custom card maker may or may not close down. So we're gonna do our best here, and Photoshop exists as an alternative in the meantime while Ayako tries to cook up something else, but I just want to mention that because we don't know for sure, which is why I haven't made an announcement. Once we do know what, like, is gonna happen 100% and what we're gonna do about it, I'll make an announcement about that. But I thought I'd mention it since, you know, he did kind of allude to it a little bit here with that message. So, you know, just in case anyone was wondering what was going on, that's what's happening. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, I figured it's an auto because it's worded like an auto, but like that's an auto act, which is really weird. Your methodologies, like for instance, you use target. That's not a word in Vanguard. You use choose. Also, instead of auto here, you used energy blast 2 in a completely wrong zone. Some of the wordings here, like during the end step's not a concept in Vanguard. Instead, you would want to say end phase, and also this auto doesn't need to say for each retired because it's just going to be one at a time anyway. And then there's just a lot of exploitable stuff here. Black Fang can loop itself. Double Iris is pretty insane with, like, it's just sheer draw quality. Watch Bushy make a new skill that has both auto and axe. I mean, they just adjusted the move Vanguard circle ruling clarification to say it does count as ride, which made us errata a couple cards. Because, God, man, I swear, Bushy's just an agent of chaos sometimes. That's what it feels like. Anyway, back to Celestial Magician. So, Celestial Magician lets you play Pendulum Graph orders during the opponent's turn and also get power and shield. So, if I'm understanding what this means, it means that your Pendulum Graph can be played during the opponent's turn, but all that matters is that Time Pendulum Graph is, and again, here's a Yu-Gi-Oh term for you guys, it means Time Pendulum Graph becomes Spell Speed 2, because it can interact during, like, the opponent's turn. Like, I guess that's what it's trying to do, but it's weird. But the problem is that then Time Pendulum Graph can pop things during the opponent's turn and at any point because it doesn't have, like, a timing. It doesn't have a timing associated at all. That's not how, like, in Vanguard, you can't really have these sort of self-igniting effects unless they're acts. So unless this is an axe skill, Time Pendulum Graph just does not function. That's not how this game is built. Can't blame them with all the little weird interactions there are. God, man. I mean, I guess so. The thing about it is that I feel like it's just a little detrimental for, like, premium and, like, I guess for us V, right? But premium as well. So it just really kind of solidifies that their interest just lies in standard, right? That's my personal interpretation from why they made that ruling. Because let's be real, they're probably making a new deck. Maybe it's got Blaze's deck. Maybe it's something else, and it involves moving cards, and they want to make sure that that's counted as a ride. All right, now then. Act once per turn, Energy Blast 4 and Soul Blast 2, swap that, but stir. Choose any number of cards of Magician, their card names, the different card names, okay? You could reduce that down to choose any number of cards with Magician in their different card names from your drop zone and call them the rear circle. Okay, then until the end of your opponent's next turn, all of your rear cards with Magician called by this effect cannot be chosen by your opponent's card effects, and when any units called by this effect be retired, bind them in effect. Bind them instead. Okay, you see, that I actually like, because at least with this, like, huge resurrection, you have a stop point for that because they bind themselves. So I do dig that. Wait, Bushy is changing rules? Yeah, they changed the way that moving works. Yeah, Seal just put it most eloquently there. That's okay, so it's kind of hard to digest everything that's going on here. Like, how they needed to clarify that you can guard in your turn because there's an interaction with Dragma and Ethics Buster that allows you to attack during your opponent's turn. Yeah. Yeah, or like how they had to, like, clarify whether or not you could guard at all, or like G-guard when your Vanguard's dominated because of Akuro. God, man, there's just weird crap like that. Okay, so let's think about this here for a second. The Celestial Magician is a mass call. And then those cards can then re-pop themselves in order to get various effects, but then they die permanently for that. So essentially what would happen is you're forced to re-ride because of the effects of Drachma, and as a result, Buster would then be placed. Buster has an on-place skill in order to immediately battle the opponent's Vanguard if you pay the cost. So they're wondering if someone is attacking you during your turn, because it's an effect that's allowing that attack to occur during your turn because you forced them to re-ride. Are you allowed to guard during that battle? And they clarified that yes, you can guard. Yeah, this is not bad. It's kind of interesting because it's like it wants you to establish with these guys. That's why they've got the shield and the intercept and stuff. But at the same time, you're wanting to pop them, so there's a bit of a trade-off there. So that's actually one of the better design cards here. Oxal Magician. Right, sorry. He put the effect somewhere else. Make a video about weird interactions. That could be a fun video if I could compile enough weird interactions I want to talk about. Auto, when this unit is placed on rear circle, energy charge 1. Why not? At the end of battle, this unit boosted or attacked, retire this unit, and you may draw a card. Okay, so this became the best staple in Dark States because it basically outdoes Philia now. Because you just get a draw no matter what, and you also draw. So actually, no, not Philia. It outdoes Folklore. It's like better Folklore. Drop counterblast. If you control a magician, you can bind this unit and opponent's unit on rear circle until the start of main phase. Then call both units on rear circle. Yeah, that's not bad. Except that you're being one in order to revive it, but then it revives along with like returning back that unit. That's actually kind of clever. I feel like these first two skills are like way too generically applicable, but that drop skill is kind of interesting to me, so that's neat. Yeah, shoot, I don't even talk to Kairos personally, but that might be a good topic to bring up with them. And then they have the Arxel Magician here. Cannot be, so it's a grade 4, 13k power, Dark States, Panel Magician. Cannot be ridden other than by this unit's ability. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 greater, it gets all the falling. So it has the All Might Minerva thing. So after the soul, place 4 different magicians from your bind zone into soul. Oh god, okay, so never mind. I take back that praise. You're meant to spam these effects as much as possible, and then you'll get them back for free. 4 different triggers from drop to the bottom of the deck. What the hell? Ride this card as stand, and then you retire it to re-ride into Celestial Magician. Oh god. Continuous on the Vanguard circle. All your units of Magician get boosts, and they have 3 more units of Magician. They're different card names. You get 5,000 power. That includes itself, so it's going to be an 18k base. Yeah, you can recycle over trigger. You can also recycle, the heal trigger. Beautiful. Auto in the Vanguard circle. The amount of this unit attacks Soul Blast 4 units with Magician. They're different card names, so again, it's free because it does it for you. Stand all of your front or rear guards with Magician, their card names. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, brother, you don't need to put that because it gets all the falling if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater. You don't need that. Your damage zone has 4 more cards. Counterblast 1. Stand all of your units instead, and their drive becomes 0. It just stands the board. Oh my god. Now it's a Legion Hell, Ayako. This crap here is like some next level beatdown. Just check it out. Check it out. This deck that they got going on here. You might be like, oh yeah, it's just like a triple trigger thing. Like, sure, it's 18k power, yada yada. Sure, your board gets a total cumulative of 30,000 power. Teehee, not that bad, right? Which, it's pretty big. But here's where it gets even more serious, right? So, what you're restanding here, you're doing it against an opponent's Vanguard that's probably at least negative 7k, right? Oh, and your Vanguard probably has at least 1 or 2 criticals. And they didn't drive check 3 times. They probably drive check 4 or 5 times. And restanding with all those bonuses. Including the overtrigger that you recycle, by the way. And that's what the deck does for you. Yeah. Oh, and just in case your opponent has some super nifty counter, like hostage order, yeah, you're just gonna bind that unit on the rear circle, because of Timebreaker from the drop. Volnute? Oh man, brother, I'm not gonna lie. In a deck like this, because you're using Dark States, right? So IMHO, if it was me, brother, I wouldn't even go for the Volnute. I don't feel the need to go for the Volnute in this deck because, yeah, it's a really cool multi-attack, but you're already having so much multi that they're going to die anyway. I'd rather get one that, like, focuses on, like, yeah, I would say you should focus more on this deck's, like, survivability and defense just to make sure that you, like, because you're going to overwhelm them anyway. You got the best offense in the game with this deck, so you just got to make sure that you get to that offense. So I probably would have either said Bright Sky or Eidos Faro, personally. Wait, is the board restand once per turn? No, it's not. Nope. And you want to know something else? You can build Soul. You can use White Wing Magician to put any card from hand to Soul, which is one of those magicians. And not only that, there's another card that puts into Soul. Oh, which one was it? There was another card that put into Soul with its skill. Which one was it though? Was it you? Oh, yep, Black Fang. When Black Fang's retired during the opponent's turn, which can include from Guardian Circle, you can choose any magician from drop and put it into your Soul for free. So guard with multiple Black Fangs, put other magicians in the Soul, get these back, and then yeah, go for a nice and easy 9-attack turn. Easy. Checking Volnute just wins the game, no? Wait, hold on a second. Let me check something about Volnute. Because if I recall correctly, yeah, maybe you're right. Because now that I think about it, Volnute might be the best win here. Let me check. Let me go. Yeah, let me just go for this one. So Volnute. No. Okay, yeah. Volnute is once per turn. That's why I was saying not Volnute. I just said because you were saying that, so I was like, wait, am I wrong about that? I thought Volnute was once per turn just in case. So yeah, Volnute isn't really that big of a deal. Like 10 attacks versus 9, who the F cares at that point? Get an OT that's like either going to give you a critical for your Vanguard, like maybe Eidos Faro, or I guess the new Storm one, lol. Or because the Storm one wouldn't be that great either because you're reducing your drive to 0 anyway, so you don't really get to abuse it that well. So either go Eidos Faro or Bright Sky OT. That's my idea. John Vanguard is still well liked, indeed. Without having a war crime to raid. Oh, God. Oh, by the way, if it wasn't obvious, this was Arc Soul from the server. Oh, yeah, it was pretty obvious. Wait, hold on a second. I'm missing an effect. Auto on the Vanguard, act on the Vanguard circle. Energy Blast 3. For every 2 cards in your damage zone, choose one of your Great Tier or less Magician units that it gets. When this unit stands by the ability, this unit gets 5,000 power and performs... It performs drive checks. This unit's drive cannot be increased by your card's effects. It doesn't matter. You're already going to be drive checking like 6 times. You know what's also great about this, man? Because it's 5,000 to end a turn, when you do this double restand, you just get like 10,000 power. Oh man. Oh man. Oh dude. Holy crap. Okay. Go ahead and download this. When the new OT better than Eidos Faro? It depends on how you look at it, because Eidos Faro is better for getting you like a defensive card if you're just trying to like live one more turn. New OT is better if you're trying to like dig for the extra drive, but I'm gonna be real with you, dude. I'd rather have the utility of Eidos Faro in the early game to get me to that point than trying to like maximize on this kill turn that will obviously kill no matter what. Like, that's my perspective. If you've got the best offense in the game, you don't need to overkill it. Just try to play cards that'll get you to that offense. Let's see here. Now we need to get the tier lists. Is this one the correct tier list? Yep, this is the correct tier list. Okay. All right, let me go ahead and add another image here. Oh, the joy. The fractured avatar. The fractured butthole. I guess so. You're killing easily these customs. Very defense it is. Yep, that's what I'm saying. That to me reads more practically. These are the Geneva suggestion. Oh man. Oh, they're really rough, dude. They're really, really rough. There's some like, cause like here's the thing, if it was just on how like bad and exploitable they are, it'd be more like up here. But also they use Yu-Gi-Oh wording. They don't even use Vanguard wording in the first place. What's the point of Bushy making a new OT? Honestly, because I guess they felt obligated to double down on a mistake. And likewise, they made one that's so useless. I would have placed it in War Crime. Nah, it's worse than that. Not the Geneva suggestion. Yes, the Geneva suggestion. Crazy. It can go nowhere else. Alrighty, so thank you for the customs there, Arxel. Sorry I kinda ripped on these a lot, but there is a lot to critique with these, but the concept, the overarching concept has potential. It just needed to be executed a lot better than it was. Okay, so next up we have Snoo Apples. Pretty sure this is AIR, right? Let me look at what he's got here. Seems like he's got 1, 2, 3, just 4. Okay. So 4 of these guys. So this must be some sort of ride line, I guess. Let's get into it then. So this is Ambling Singular. He's a elf from Dark States, and he's just a starter. All right. From Ambling Singular, you get to Lunatic Edge, Bloodfang. Whoa, my God, dude! Holy crap! What in the 12? This is Kote. Whoa, nice. Holy crap! That is one hell of a name. We're really close to my customs. Yeah, I think we're gonna get to them today, dude. Let's see here. So continues the Vanguard circle. During the battle, this unit attack. This unit gets 2,000 power. Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's fine. That kind of reminds me a lot of Grade 1 Youth when he was boosted. When this unit is run upon by Duke of Darkness Uran, you Soul Blast 1. With the top 5 cards of your deck, and add 1 card with Demon, Vampire, Noble, or Abyss Beast to your hand. Then deal yourself 1 damage. What? Okay. I was like, okay, so you get to add 1 of these traits, which, you know, is really wide range, but it's kind of nice, it's flavorful, and then deal yourself 1 damage is so scary. Holy crap. Okay. After that, you've got Duke of Darkness Uran. So, wow, he just looks like a different guy. Yeah, like these two look the same. This is a different guy. Self-damage on an angel is kind of insane. Yeah, that is one hell of a blueprint, man. When this unit is rode upon by Dark Emperor Koroya, okay, put a card from your hand into your soul. To search your deck for a card with the same name as this card. Reveal it, put it in your hand, and shuffle your deck. Okay, so you've got a Bubet. Was it Bubetsu? That was the name? No, it wasn't Bubetsu, right? That wasn't Bubetsu. There was a name. What was the name of the ride line card? Boshoku. That was the name of it. It's like a Boshoku. So you Boshoku for another this guy. Auto, if you are at 4 or more cards in your damage zone, you are in Vengeance. Just anywhere, I guess, you're in Vengeance. If you're in Vengeance, this card gains Drive +1 and 10,000 power. So I guess the idea is you try to sandbag here. Interesting. So you take a lot of damage, and then you get into this point. What's interesting, so there's a couple of things about this that's a little whack. It says if you're in Vengeance, right? But the grammar here is a little off. You want to specify where he's like in Vengeance, and you probably also want to state that you're in the Vengeance state specifically, so that it qualifies what Vengeance is. Not only that, but this sort of limit break-esque kind of ability, this isn't an auto. This is a continuous skill right here. And this continuous skill, I guess the idea that he becomes a 20k base continuously at all times, so that wouldn't be an auto. Vengeance keyword from Shadowverse, Bloodcraft the player. Yeah, it sounds like it, but the thing about it is that I don't know if this is the way to do it, because Vengeance was, if I recall correctly, didn't Vengeance require you to be down to like 7, how much life was it? 7 life or something like that? You had to be below half, to get into the Vengeance state for Bloodcraft, but here, I guess that's what that below half is, because you're already past the halfway mark, which is 3 damage, so I guess it's just, I feel like there probably would have been a little bit of a better way to do it. 10 or less? Okay, so actually beyond half, okay. Interesting. What does 3 do? 3 is going to really qualify this. If your soul has Dark Emperor Kuyoya, the number of cards you're damaged and lose becomes 7. Here's the greed on again. So what you do is you put in your Kuyoya off of your Euron, and then you add another Euron. Okay, Now, he's got 5 effects. A crest or set order. Yeah, I agree. I feel like you either want to make an archetypal Kant skill to put yourself in the vengeance state, or alternatively make it a crest ability. I personally like the idea of your, like, here's what I would have done, right? Personally, I would have made your grade 1 ride line. You see this skill here? I would have actually changed it to when it's placed by riding from the grade 0. You can reveal the grade 3 in your ride deck in order to get a token set order, and that token set order is what allows you to be in the vengeance state. And so everything that these guys do, like, have effects if they are in vengeance, like this auto that should have been a con, that looks fine, but like you don't need this right here. The stipulation probably should have just been a con on a token set order. So okay, now let's read on. So act on the Vanguard circle once per turn. Soul Blast 1 to look at the top 4 cards of your deck to add a card to your hand or call up to 1 card grade less than or equal to your Vanguard circle. Okay, your Vanguard circle doesn't have a grade, should be your Vanguard. Then move 1 card from your hand into Soul. So, wait, but because you're moving a card from hand to Soul, that's free then, right? So you're just calling a card? Saves 2 line of text. Yeah, it saves 2 line of text, and also it gives you the potential to actually have another effect on that token set order and take away one of these, right? Because that would have also, because this is very bloated right now. Like, for instance, this effect here to like call once per turn, I wouldn't have minded if the token set order did that for you, sort of like a setup card. You know, I think I would have liked that. Auto, if you have 4 more in your damage zone, you're in the vengeance state. Yeah, okay, that archetypal skill again. With unit attacks, if your damage zone has 2 or more cards, choose up to 1 of your opponent's rear guards to retire them. If you have 4 or more, choose up to 2. Something has gone very, very wrong. So it retires a couple free. That's not that bad. It makes sense. And so it has when you're in vengeance, this unit gets critical. So it's very wordy, and it's got a lot of, but realistically speaking, this actually functions mostly okay. Like, the grammar is bad, and I think it's like needlessly bloated. But the point of it isn't that bad. It's a double crit attacker that can also retire up to 2 of the opponent's rear guards for free. And it's totally based on your damage. What's nice is that you do have the ability to like lose at 7, which means that vengeance is easier to maintain. I think this is actually a good implementation of the greed on effect here, because your entire deck gimmick necessitates something like this. Only see critical. Yeah, there's no power to it whatsoever. Like, what if a token set order had given it power? You know, like maybe you scaled to damage when your unit attacks or is attacked, right? That could have been a thing. Or when I think what they may be thinking, Ayako, they might be, this is just the ride line. So maybe a lot of your power comes from your rear guards, which we don't see here because he didn't include rear guards in this. He just kind of moved on to other cards. So I don't know. Overall, I'd probably rate this about a... Okay, so actually, before I give the rating, there's one other thing I want to mention, right? So as I said, the grammar is like kind of whack in a couple different ways. Another like unfortunate side effect of this is that this axe skill just doesn't work because equal to your Vanguard circle is not your Vanguard. That's your circle. Your circle doesn't have a grade. And then you're putting any card from hand to soul, so you're kind of just getting this sort of like free cycle, right? Which is super powerful, and I don't know how to feel about that here, but it feels like this deck is very low power anyway, so I guess you would have that. But the problem is that if you try to address the power issue that's very obvious here, you may have to deal with this in return. Maybe I need to make a Grammarly for Vanguard. Dude, a rulery for like also like rules and interactions, like the whole like end of battle procedures and like how effects resolve there. Like when we were talking about that was interesting, right? Like, God, dude, a lot of people have grammar issues, but you know, I get why. You know, it's not something to really like rip at. People just aren't used to making cards. You know, not everyone could be some like super mega card designer who's been doing it for years the way that like a Bushiroad R&D design member could be, right? I mean, hell, even I make mistakes sometimes, although admittedly not usually grammar mistakes, but I make mistakes sometimes, and I've been designing cards for years, man, and reviewing them on top of that. So take it from me, it's not that easy, but you know, that just means that for people who are just getting started, this is what you get, and you know, it's a work in progress. Okay, so overall ride line here, I'm going to give it, I think, a 4 out of 10. I think its concept is pretty male managed, and on top of that, it has really bad execution and bad grammar. However, I do think that it is at least a fairly salvageable concept, and the idea of vengeance in Dark State specifically actually has potential, because I think one of the few really good implementations here was that greed on skill. I think that works perfectly for this kind of a deck, so that's nice. Are forgetting until end of turn. Yeah, until end of turn is a classic one. Impermanent power boost, go. Yeah, man. I think one of my personal like biggest mistakes has traditionally been to forget the once per turns. Sometimes I forget once per turn, man, and that's not good. Let's see here. Yeah, so this was a little weird because I feel like it's more underbaked than anything. So it's not really insult worthy, you know, but it is just like not great in how it's designed. So probably around here. I think these two are pretty similar that way personally. Because yeah, it actually feels pretty accurate to around here. I feel like this was sort of like the level of design that was brought to the table here. Tell me if I'm cooking or not. A Persona 5 inspired deck that takes personas to arm to the main Vanguard circle. That's like Buff Sagana. Are we cooking or not? Hey, that might be an idea. You know what you could do, Melfi? That would be really trippy. Have personas be like a unit that cannot be normal called to the rear circle, but your Vanguard can superior call specific personas to the back row center, and until end of turn, that back row center becomes a Vanguard circle. Because, you know, they're right behind them and they battle with them because, you know, I am thou, thou art I. They're both the Vanguard. So they share that role. That's just my immediate, like, 5-second take on how that could work. But I don't know. Because things like that has to really been taken, like, sequentially when it comes to design. Because you never know what you're going to make from that kind of stuff. Clipped? Oh, nice. Well, it sounds like you like the idea. Destined One of Justice. Heroics Justice Aksudu. Ooh, wow, okay. Is that Zabi, but cooler? Yeah, now I get to shout Persona. I'll show you my resolve. Oh god, now all I think of is Morgana going meow. That's just so cringe, bro. I mean, if I were to play any of the Persona, like Persona 5, you know, I think I'd probably do, yeah, I'd probably shoot for Ryuji with Captain Kid. That'd be pretty cool. Let's see here. So got one. Oh, that's like build. He looks like build, that one. Wait, this guy is remarkably like the first one. Like, his helmet is different, but his wings are almost identical. Huh. Alright. They're all grade 3, so they're presumably different Vanguards. Alright. And these seem to be the last ones that the homie brought up. All right, Build, is that you? Hey, are you going to post the tier list? I will send you an image of my Revenger custom. Sure. Yeah, I think I will post the tier list after this is all done. So after today, once I'm done with this video, I'll post the tier list and custom card review, just to kind of like give the holistics on like a lot of the stuff we've reviewed here and where they fall. Holy crap, we have come a long way, man. Look at all these things we reviewed over the past year. It's really staggering when you take a step back and look at it. These aren't even everything we've read. These are just the ones that we read that I actually like bothered to put on the tier list. Alright, so this is the Destined One of Justice. Heroics Justice Aksudu. So act in the Vanguard circle once per turn, cost Soul Blast 1 and Counter Blast 1. Switch those. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Choose up to 1 Hero Shift unit and up to 1 other Heroics unit. Reveal them, add to your hand, and shuffle your deck. If you add 2 cards, you may call 1 unit from hand to an open rearguard circle. You would just put the rear circle thing there. So grammar stuff aside, functionally speaking, that's actually not that bad. You're just looking at top 5, potentially tutoring 2, and then you gotta call 1 to an open circle if you can. So yeah, not bad. Auto in the Vanguard circle. At the end of this unit, attack perform one of the following. Choose up to 1 card with Hero Shift. Okay, here's the thing. That right there, that's a cool logo. I would put that logo up there. Although, I guess the idea is that hold on a second, let me check. Hero Shift. Ah, so Hero Shift is a name thing, so it's like Revoldress. So, no, it's not a Yu-Gi-Oh archetype. So it's like Revoldress then. If that's the case, then you'll probably want to say choose up to one card with the Hero Shift ability. And then this, and then there you go. Or like if you're wanting, well actually no, I guess it wouldn't be Hero Shift ability because this has the Hero Shift ability, which it doesn't show it there, but this should be Hero Shift. So this should have Hero Shift ability here, and then it does say Hero Shift, a unit with Hero Shift in its card name, and because its card name is what they have, because it needs to be placed by Hero Shift. Okay, so these are just youth perk. So you Revoldress into the Heroics card. Divine Skill, auto. If your opponent has a grade 3 or greater Vanguard, can go ahead and put these down. Alright. So now that we did that, it gets Drive -2, so just Revoldress. But your Divine Skill says that after you have attacked with this unit, okay, wording aside, discard 2 cards, place 1 Hero Shift from your hand as stand, and then call 2 cards for drop some to rear circles. What? This doesn't function. Tier list of new Revenger. Oh, I gotta reread those. That's right. I'll see if I can do that, because when you said like shoot new Revenger, I didn't know you meant to actually put it on the tier list there, because I already have your Revengers on the tier list. I already have your Revengers here, dude. So I would just probably shoot them. Probably just shoot them up here. Hold on a second. I guess one thing I can do. I'll just put that there for later. I'll put that there for safekeeping. Alright. This Divine Skill... What do we think about this Divine Skill? Because it's like... You're discarding 2 cards, and I'm assuming that you're trying to put a... You're trying to do the Revoldress Hero Shift thing, but then also call 2 cards to rear circles. As he says, rear circles. So it's like a full frontal battle phase. I guess the idea... I mean, it's flashy and cool. Huh. It's like Skyfall Arms, but it has a Divine Skill, and it has a really strong search effect. The only thing that it doesn't have over something like Rebuild is that it doesn't... Wait, no, actually it has something over Rebuild. You can, when you do this Divine Skill, they don't lose the drives, do they? Well, hold on a second. These need to be placed by Hero Shift ability, right? Okay, so that one is old version of Revenger, loses all drive, second attack. Yeah, I'll let me think about that here real quick if I want to re-rate that or not. Oh snap. Alright, so anyway, let's go ahead and do this. Reading Hero Shift. Okay. Oh, crap. Family gonna be home early? Alright, let me go ahead and tell them I need a little bit of time here. Alright. So, okay, when this unit is placed on Vanguard, circled by Hero Shift ability, it gets 10,000 power, and auto Vanguard circle, so it gets this as well. I would assume he just doesn't red text it. All rear circle gain intercept and 5,000 shield, even from back row. They already have intercept, they gain 10,000 shield. All rear circle, I would imagine, includes all fighters, so... you just let your opponent intercept with their board, I think? Do you want me to send my other custom Revenger, the good one? Yeah, go ahead and send the good Raging form as well, and I can read that. Actually, Counterblast, when this unit attacks, draw 2, then place 1 card from hand on the bottom of your deck. Wait. Why does it have an act if you're placing it at the end of battle? What? That is Kamen Rider build for sure, dude. The red and the blue is a dead giveaway. That is his classic design, bro. At the end of your turn, choose a card with Hero Shift and from your Soul and Rise. This card makes no sense. Not even Rear Guard. Yeah. Yeah, so, like, if you say Rear Circle specifically, this doesn't even function. It needs to say the Rear Guards, right? And it probably should mean only your Rear Guards. And you wouldn't even need to say even from the back row. That's not how we're... So it's a grammar nightmare. It probably doesn't function, and the act skill doesn't... Yeah, the act needs to be an auto. And, like, it has to be an auto. When you make it an auto, this is the only skill that, like, actually mostly functions correctly. Like, well, actually, I guess Hero Shift to get 10,000 power also functions correctly. Teehee. Not great. Probably like a 2 out of 10. Hero Shift, Heroic 6, Justice Volt. When it's placed, if your opponent's Vanguard is great through, oh, this might be your guest. During the battle, these unit attacks, it battles all of your opponent's front row units in one attack. That's actually nice. If you have 2 or more front row rear guards, all of your front row units get power plus 5,000. That's also really nice. Wait, what the hell? This actually works. This is actually a good card. What? So... This is complete nonsense, and this is about half and half. This is actually a good card. Okay. This is hard to digest. This is a weird one for me. Okay, how do I qualify this? The Youthberg like card, the Skyfall Arms clone, as it were, not quite a clone because that's a little insulting, but the Skyfall Arms homage, everything where it functions right is stuff that's kind of based off of Skyfall Arms, and this add skill is different, but it actually works for the most part, although you probably do want to, adjust wording as always. This is just completely asinine. It doesn't do anything right, but then this does everything right. So... The only thing I can fault for this one is that it doesn't have... I remember making an ability icon for these. Yeah, the Hero Shift ability icon is kind of nice. The one thing I can, like, fault for Justice Volt is that Justice Volt doesn't specify until end of turn for the power. Hey, Ayako, for getting the end of turn, right? This is what you was talking about. You forgot it here, but aside from that little, like, technicality, this is really good. This feels like an 8 or 9 out of 10. This is like a 1 or 2 out of 10, and then this is probably like a 4 or 5 out of 10. So I think I'll probably like meet him somewhere around here. Yeah, because these are comprehensive with real... These are not comprehensive, I think. Man, end of turn is hard to remember, bro. Yeah. It is, because you just gotta tack it on there at some point. It's like, when you're thinking of an ability, you're thinking about the ability itself, not the limitations of it. Yeah, that's... I totally get that, man. So, yeah, these were better, though. I actually do like these better than these, because at least there was more effort in them, That feels fine to me. Okay, so now that we got that, friends and I started a role-playing game, and we make cards based on our wishes. Call them the Chosen Ones. Okay. 1, 2, 7 more replies. Let's see here. Okay, let's see. Let me just get this bride line here. They're just charging him up, I guess. So follower of Anasi, Abaddon, is a starter and looks really freaky. This is Anasi's chosen child, Legion. When it's placed by writing from the follower, search your deck for a Fable card put in the hand. And when it attacks a Vanguard, you Soul Blast 1 to energy charge 2. Oh, interesting. So it's kind of like the archetypal skill, but has a little extra. Don't know how I feel about that, but that's not that bad. It was really necessary. So then you got this one. When it's placed by writing from Anasi's chosen child, Legion, choose a Fable from hand or drop and bind it. When top 3 cards of your deck, choose a unit and call it to rear circle. Put one card from them in your hand. So wait, hold on a second. You get a +2, dude? What? You just discard the Fable that you added, and then you get a plot. No. When it attacks a Vanguard from the rear circle, choose up to 2 cards to your drop, bind 1, put 1 in the soul, and you gets 5,000. That feels very exploitable because there's bind implications in Stoicheia. Bushiroad made that really asinine restriction because of that, so I don't know about that. Chosen one of stories, Anasi FO. When this unit is attacked, you choose a Fable from the hand or drop and bind. It gets 5,000 for each Fable, different name your bind zone until end of battle. Okay, it's until end of battle. I don't know how many Fables you're gonna run, but that's actually not that bad. That's kind of neat. Act on the Vanguard circle, Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1, choose with 3 Fables with different names for your bind zone. Then Energy Blast 2, choose up to 1 Fable from your drop and play it, and when you put it in drop it or bind it instead. Wait. Why are you choosing 3 Fables with different card names? That you didn't resolve anything with that clause. You just immediately moved on to EB2 to play a Fable from drop. Wait, but being grade 1, if you start first, then second skill is useless. Yeah, it's useless half the time, right? I've been shaving for almost an hour and still not done. Damn, you got a lot of beard, huh, brother? Auto at the beginning of your main phase, if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, put 3 Fable cards with different card names from your bind zone and your soul. Choose on your opponent's Vanguards, and this unit gets all that unit's ability to the end. Hey, that's pretty good. I actually don't mind that skill. Each of them is a natural born storyteller ready to be released. That's a beautiful text. Huh. Not once per turn. Because you're having to actively pay the costs actively, so it's gonna run out naturally, so it's up to you to like pace it out. So that's probably why. Stealing skills. Yeah, stealing skills can be kind of scary. This is why I think a lot of skills tend to have like a lot of archetype bearings. So like for instance, Impaldio bases its skills based off of Automod gauge and stuff like that. So, yeah, I feel like stealing skills is hyper specific. It reminds me a lot of like Shiranui from like V series when you were doing Mask of Domination token, because Mask of Domination token, there were some rare instances where it was very hyper it was hyper relevant, but aside from that, taking an ability just felt like a little neat bonus that didn't really amount to much. So this feels like a lot of the same thing here, but the fact that this is just a really fun little X factor after a deck that's mostly just defensively inclined and has a lot of resources, I don't actually mind that too much. These aren't that bad, it felt like to me. So let me go ahead and give this a just look over here. Family's gonna be coming home pretty soon, so I'm not gonna have much more I can do, but let me get what I can. Honestly, you know what? These kind of remind me a lot of these Nightmare Lands over here, so I feel like this is a good place for them. It's like it has some conceptual issues and stuff like that, but I actually think functionally it's not that terrible. It's kind of a neat idea. Alright, so I customized these cards to have better Liel support. I'm customizing very close to the deadline, have in place, so these are just temporary ideas. Aha, yep, so deadline here. So yep, we just got Ayako and then the person right here, Raycow. So let's go ahead and read these 2 Liels, get the Ayako cards, and we'll call it a day. So this is going to be grade 1 booster, which we don't know the name of it. He didn't give it a name. Why does shaving a beard isn't even long take over an hour? I guess it just depends on like your technique and stuff, rather, and what you got to shave with. If it's nothing that's going to it's going to be painful and arduous. When this card is discarded or bound during your main phase by your Vanguard's ability, if you have a grade 3 or greater Liel, you may call it to rear circle, and if you call it a card, choose a normal unit from your drop and bind it. Whoa, that's interesting. Okay, so it's specifically a combo piece for the Axe skill of Liel Draconis, but it's a really good combo piece. That is a really, really good combo piece. My god. Then auto at the end of the battle, this unit boosted. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard Liel on its card, then you put it in the soul to counter charge 1 or energy charge 3. Alright then. It reminds me a lot of what was his name? Zero Ethics Taro. He was a support card for the Bebe Koro Koro deck. Then if it was placed by a card's ability this turn, you get all of your Vanguards with Liel and their card name gets power plus 5,000 to end a turn. That's actually also pretty good. You know, I mean, the most you're ever going to get from that is 10,000 if you're doing the Divine Skill that turn, but if you're not doing the Divine Skill that turn, it's just 5,000, which is fine, because you're just a little bit of power with that, and of course, Countercharge is something this deck needs desperately, because this is incentivizing you to set up Gapwelius combos, which is what the deck's winning image ideally should be, thematically speaking. Merry Christmas, Angus, thank you for coming on in. Yeah, honestly, I like it. And let me also mention, grade 1s are what we need in Liel, because I don't know why Bushiroad keeps insisting on giving us grade 2 cards as support cards. We need grade 1s, dude. I don't care if your grade 2 card gives us boost. Give us an actual grade 1 for the love of God. And this is pretty good. I like that one. Intercept, Kato Sanctuary, grade 2. Oof. When this unit is placed on Rear Circle, if you have a grade 3 or greater Liel, you can bind a normal unit from your drop. Cost Counter Blast 1 or Energy Blast 2 or Soul Blast 1. So in other words, you Counter Blast 1 no matter what, and then you either choose EB2 or Soul Blast 1 as the conjoining cost with Counter Blast 1, which is weird wording, but it works, I think. Search your deck for up to 1 card with the same card name as any card in your bind zone, a different card name from this unit, call it to an open rear circle, and shuffle the deck. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, this unit gets 5,000 power, but if your battle phase gets 10,000 power, ooh, slow your roll on the 10,000 power there. This is really powerful, because what you're doing here is you're multi-attack extending mid-battle. So what you're doing now is you're turning a 4 attack into a 5 attack, and then what would have been like a 6 attack into like a 7 attack or something, right? This is really powerful. I personally think, and you're getting a lot of CB obviously, but you have the 3rd Mythish-esque level of countercharge because of this like put into Soul Countercharger. So you're gonna want to be careful with that, and you can also use Energy Blast for this. So just EB2 the first time, Soul Blast 1 the second time, you're all Gucci, man. So watch out, but that is actually still pretty impressive. I like that this lets you search for cards, and also it doesn't really abuse Gabulius, because Gabulius needs to be called by a Fated one. So you don't need to worry about that. Now, auto on the rear circle, when this unit attacks, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard Liel in its card name, you put 1 card from the bind zone on the bottom of the deck, and this unit gets 10,000 power to enter that battle. It's a bit easy to get that power, but it is interesting because it's kind of a dichotomy, because you can kind of get too many binds, because Liel Draconis is not a ramp deck, it's a combo deck, it's a combo beatdown deck. So you don't need multiples of bind cards, you only really need 1 of each bind. So this can kind of feel that. That's interesting. And at the end of that battle, you may bind this card. Cost Energy Blast 3. Choose a grade 1 or lower card in your bind zone, called to back or rear. Don't do that. Okay, you're having too many multi-attack combo calls in 1 card. So I feel like you should do one or the other. That's what I feel like you should be doing. I think the duplicity call from bind zone is cool, and it would really help Liel. But personally, I think you should take out this clause right here, and you should also take out this clause right here and leave it with the rest and see how that works, because you're pretty close to something I think that would really strengthen the deck here in a meaningful way, but not necessarily a busted way. But sometimes people did like over design things, right? They leave it in the oven for too long, and you have this really weird mishmash of just like nonsense, right? So it's mostly good though, and I really love this grade 1. I'm not gonna put them on the ranking system though, because they don't even really have names or anything like that, and you know, no card imager. But I'd say it probably goes somewhere around flawed but cooking, personally. Now, finally, we got Ayako's cards. So we're going to leave this one as the last one of the 2025 season. So let's go ahead and read these suckers, and then I'm going to go be with the family for a Merry Christmas, huh? So starting off with the grade 0 here, this appears to be a token unit, if I saw that border correctly. Doll. It's just a doll. Ain't she a doll, guys? Now, continuous on the rear circle, this unit gets all the abilities of all the cards as this unit's spirit gauge. Ooh, okay, so you've got a... what was it? It's the token... it's the token that Grandfia makes. It's the... because it's... I guess... what was it? The Rosta Rosa, no. Noblesse Rose. Noblesse Rose, that's what it was called. It's like Noblesse Rose token. But instead of like instead of like consuming like the like all the plant tokens, it's just getting all the abilities. The rose thingy, the rose thingy. When this unit is placed on rear circle, choose the 1 unit card in your soul and put it face up as spirit gauge for this unit. Excellent. It's a Dark States card that's actually using the soul as fuel. It's perfect. Okay, next up is grade 1. Let's try this one here. Doll Painter. Ooh, that's not a Ride Line card. Is this a Ride Line card? Because I want to try and see if I can't get Ride Line card. That's not Ride Line card either. All right, we'll just go ahead and do this one at a time. Then we'll do this one. Doll Painter Annie is a grade 1 card that's a rear circle stick. So we got continuous on the rear circle. During your turn, if you have a doll token in your rear circle, this unit gets 5,000 power. Nice. When this unit is placed on the rear circle, you discard a card from your hand to choose one unit card from your soul and put it as a spirit gauge on your rear circle with 1 or less spirit gauge. Okay, so you can only ramp to a point. So ideally, after you first place doll, you want to get doll buffer. The doll painter, sorry, I read the little stipulation on the PNG image name, but you want to get doll painter right away there and build that. Nice. I accidentally swallowed shaving cream. Should I be concerned? Probably not, but try not to swallow more if you can help it. Ooh. Anyway, now we got Spirit Caretaker Pure. Now, during your turn, all of your doll tokens get power plus 5,000. Okay, so this is a lot like Tobitachi does for Tobitachi and Genkai. Both have this boost for your Mask of Domination token, and this does the same thing for doll. Now, auto, at the end of your turn, if you have 1 or more doll tokens on your rear circle, you retire this unit to choose one of your doll tokens, and it gets this unit can be chosen by card effects. If you're not countercharged this turn, countercharge 1. Oh, okay. So it's retire to countercharge 1, which is a pretty easy one, so we can assume that it's pretty easy to countercharge in this deck because of that, but it's not bad on its own, and it gives a pretty well-needed protection because you're trying to ramp up, because let's be real, anyone who's played things like Grand Theater before, it's kind of annoying to have to constantly ramp up Noblesse Rose token against like field control. Just a dab, yeah, you're fine, bro. Yeah, it's not like it's super toxic stuff, right? Otherwise, it probably wouldn't be safe to be shaving cream because it's meant to be in the proximity of your face. They had to have known that'll happen to some people. Let's go self-sack for dolls. So I'll assume it has to self-retire. Act on the rear circle. So if that's when I put this unit in your soul, there it is. Call a doll token to one of your open rear circle. The next time you choose a unit card for doll token's ability, choose this card. Oh. Yeah, you're choosing a unit card in order to, so doll token's ability is to put from soul. So in other words, it basically reads as Soul Blast 1, manifest the doll token and put it as its gauge. That's what it kind of reads as, just with a little bit of extra steps. Continuous on the rear circle. If this unit is doll token, this unit gets power plus 5,000, shield plus 10,000, and intercept. Wait, what? If this unit is a doll token. Oh, right, because doll token gains the abilities. So that means doll token now has the power, shield, and intercept. That also means then that doll token actually can, so doll token can adopt Spirit Caretaker, which means so doll token can self-buff itself with Spirit Caretaker, and it will also self-buff from this. Interesting. All right. I'm liking this so far. This is kind of cooking. Now this is the Emergency Soul Swap, which is a Blitz order. So choose one of your doll tokens on your rear circle, and it gets intercept and shield plus 15k until end of turn. So even if you didn't buff it with the grade 2, you can still potentially do this with doll, especially if you protected it from the pure. So now you choose up to 1 spirit gauge from one of your doll tokens, put it into your soul, and choose 1 unit card from your soul, place it face up a spirit gauge from your doll tokens with no spirit gauge. Exchanging gauge. Okay, that's interesting. You know what you can do with that, which I think I kind of like? So let's say you had this, right? You had Mandel. So you could swap out Mandel, and you could probably swap in like a different one. I'm not sure which one it would be. Now, a doll token is very generically applicable. So you could potentially put in any number of cards. My personal favorite application of doing this blitz order here, because you can choose like anything from your soul, right? As long as it's a unit card. Pick a PG. So you pick a PG in your soul, whether you soul charge it or put into soul from other ability or whatnot, right? It's dark states. You got a lot of ways to do this. So you pick a PG, and then you swap it into doll token, and now doll token intercepts as a PG. And because it's moving over, it's getting put on that guardian circle, you can use PG effect. So that's one way to sort of like have a pseudo... It's like having hostage order, but in a nation that doesn't have hostage order because they have boost order and dark states instead. So that's kind of an interesting combo there. I like it. I think that's really refreshing, actually, because it's one of those instances where having these kind of interactions is a positive thing, because we don't need to avoid generic interactions that ever possible. It's just more a matter of, are these interactions like unhealthy in any way? And that's not unhealthy. See you later. Hope you have a good merry holiday with your families. Yeah, I'm gonna be out soon enough, so see you later, my man. You have a good holiday for whatever it brings you. That's one of the main ideas I had, but yeah, it costs some cards on hand to do that. Indeed, right? And also, this is your one blitz order for the turn, so it needed to be fairly powerful, I think, in order to keep up with the aggressive power creep of the format. Like, I think we're in a state here where having these kind of powerful defensive tools are kind of mandatory, because holy crap, if like a revolt form exists, comes bearing down on you on turn 4, brother, you better come packing some PGs or you're gonna be blown out, because that's how that deck works, unfortunately. All right, now we get on to the final Vanguard, and also the final card to be reviewed for this year. Yay! So this is the Spirit Dolls Puppeteer Nephelina. Now Nephelina has an auto on the Vanguard circle at the beginning of your turn. Soul Blast 1 and call doll token to one of your rear circles. All right, then auto on the Vanguard circle. When this unit attacks, you retire one of your rear guards and counterblast 1. Okay, choose up to 2 cards from your drop, put them into your soul, and call a doll token. And then if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, the called unit gets 10,000 power to end a turn. Simple enough. Now, what's kind of fun here is that you call doll token aggressively in this case. So doll token can be minimum here 15k attacker if the opponent's grade 3 or greater. Otherwise, it's probably not going to be that strong of an attacker, but it is still a very interesting idea to me. And what's also cool about this is that because you're putting any 2 cards from the drop zone, that also means that you're able to get like those PGs back. So this has a really strong that's one main way to set up the emergency soul swap when you get things going. So that's great momentum there. It also means that Spirit Caretaker doesn't feel so bad, because I noticed that it retired itself, which felt a little bad, and I was like, maybe he's trying to make it not so recurable, but it just turns out that you do have a way of recursion, but you need to Nephelina in order to do that. So honestly, I thought these were a great final set to review here for the year. I like the doll token idea. I think the concept of taking the abilities here is cool, especially in a nation like Dark States, where there's a lot of homogeny in what they function like, aka you want to either ramp up or toolbox your soul, use it in some form of fashion, right? So doll token is very open-ended because of that, and you can really shove a bunch of cards that either soul blast a lot, soul build a lot, ramp on soul, whatever the heck you want. Maybe even some retire elements of it. You just do whatever the heck you want, and doll token will help you extend it. So I like that. So let's go ahead and get that in there. And also, I think I'm going to get I'll get the Revengers. I'll get Revenger Mark II in here, because why not? It's the holidays after all. So let's get both of these in here. Boop, 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 boop. And submit. All right, so let's go ahead and actually get the Revengers one here done first. So the previous Revengers ones were down here. They got some charcoal on. I think now he has a little bit more flaws, but like a little less. Like it's flawed, but he's a lot better because it felt like a more competent deck. So I think I'll place it right around. Yeah, I think I'll put it right next to the Mordred Phantom. I think that's really appropriate. And Nephelina, I think Gordon Ramsay approves of these. I really like the concept here. Like, it didn't, thank God you didn't look at the new Mira. That would get the Geneva for sure. Oh, I think I might know what you're talking about, the attacking one. Oof. Yeah, I think this is a really nice set of cards. It's not like super wow town or whatever, mainly because there wasn't like more cards really fleshed out on the strategy here, but it's a really cool baseline. You really well done, Ayako. I would not expect anything less from the person who helped innovate like the custom card revolution in terms of actually letting us have the custom card maker. I hope it lives, man. I really hope it does. Are you gonna post the tier list? I will post the tier list on Discord. The grade 2 Mira as Vanguard's so weird. Yeah, and it was really wordy too when I read that, I think. So this is our tier list here. We've done so much. This was a great 2025 custom card review. Y'all had so many fun concepts, and there was even more cards that people made, but of course these were after deadline, so I couldn't get to these, but man, we got through like the majority of them, which is impressive, and it was really fun getting through all of them. So thank you to everyone who's been a part of this, whether you submitted a custom card or were just simply watching and here along for the ride. I appreciate all of you nonetheless, and this is definitely the time to be appreciating because it is Christmas and it is the season to be jolly. So with that said, that brings an end to this chapter, but if you want to submit some more customs and you wanted to get them reviewed, there's two ways of doing it. Either you can go down the Discord to have some of the other folks in the Discord check it out, or if you want to be a part of one of these other custom card reviews, keep a lookout here because sometime in 2026, custom card season is going to be back up and at 'em, and I'll be making another one of these posts, and it'll just be like clockwork. now with all, yeah, honestly, I never thought we would get this far with the review. Yeah, no kidding, the reviews have also really grown. I think these have become so much more popular, because I'll tell you, this post is like several times larger than my first custom card post. The first time I made one of these, dude, people definitely popped off with it, but they did not pop off the way they popped off here. So it only grows, and it's been a heck of a community that we've been building on it, right? So I'm hoping that the next one, whether it's larger or not, I just hope that people have a good time with it and we can keep the flame going, because I feel like this is one of the more interesting subsects of the Vanguard community. So I love it. Wait, for 294 comments. Oh my god. Oh man, this just popped off. Yeah, and to think some certain individuals would consider custom cards filler in the Reddit. Ain't no way, Sway. We're too large to stop there. With all that said, thank you again. If you guys want to see another one of these, then definitely comment down in the Discord down below with like some more of like your customs in the future. Let other people get a chance to look at them, because you know it's always nice to get creative with things. But I'll keep a lookout for when the next season will come around. It'll probably be sometime in the fall, I'm thinking, so that way we have a few months to like let them build up, review them, and like review them all the way up until the end of the year or something. That's probably going to be the plan here, but no promises. If you guys are looking for other content in the meantime, then keep an eye out for the Saturday stream, because Saturday stream is going to be pretty nice, because we not only have the usual play with card subs, but we also have bingo for season 5 of the anime. So if you guys want to be part of the bingo and get your predictions in there for what's going to happen for season 5, then you don't want to miss it. It's going to be streaming at 2 p.m. CST, my time. And with all that said, take care, God bless, and have a Merry Christmas. Bye-bye.